we alluded to this a little bit in the previous lesson, but now we want to look at finding a reference angle for a large angle. So for instance, negative 150 degrees. Remember, every time you switch quadrants, you're moving 90 degrees. And since it's negative, we want to start by going below the positive x-axis. So this would be 90 degrees, and then this would be 180 degrees. So we know negative 150 degrees. I should say this would be negative 90, and this would be positive or negative 180. But negative 150 would lie somewhere in between these two angles. Halfway between 90 and 180 would be about 135 here. So we want to go a little further than that, maybe to about here. So my angle would be something like that for negative 150 degrees. And when they say find its reference angle, what that means is the acute angle of a triangle that would be formed with an axis. So clearly, this forms an acute angle here with this negative x-axis. So we would call this angle theta here my reference angle, which in this case would be 30 degrees. So here we've sketched the negative 150 degree angle, and we're naming the reference angle as 30 degrees. Now let's take a look at if this were in terms of pi or radians. Now, if you recall, pi over 2 radians, it represents each quadrant's angle, an angle of 90 degrees. So it would stand to tell that halfway between 0 and pi over 2 would be this 45-degree angle, pi over 4. So if we want to go 3 pi over 4, we're going to do 1, 2, and then the third would be if we split the second quadrant in half. So my angle would end up going to here, which would be 3 pi over 4. So let me draw that out. So this would be a sketch of 3 pi over 4 radians. And now finding its reference angle, the acute angle that would be between the x-axis and my my terminal line here that represents 3 pi over 4 would be this angle right here, theta. And since it would take one more pi over 4 to get to pi, I would say my theta is pi over 4. Again, that's this reference angle here. So now go ahead and see if you could figure out what that acute angle would be for 520 degrees.